been fucking humble. I have been so fucking humble. I have been humble. And you know I ain't did shit. You came on my stage talking about what, cause you know that shit. And you know I really ain't did shit to y'all. And I'm done, bro. I'm sorry.
Grit Baby had the perfect plot, a single black woman with 5 kids struggling with economic realities. So naturally, her page gained a lot of traction on TikTok and Facebook. The struggling single mother trope has always been a bestseller. I mean, people see a poor woman trying to put food on the table for her kids, and they instantly want to help. She had over 500,000 people watching her every move. During her live streams, she always got gifts from people who wanted to support her. Rather than capitalizing on the publicity and building a brand that would last for years, Grit Baby chose a dark path. She started fighting other influencers during collaborations. People began commenting on her negative behavior and the possible consequences for her platform.
This Grit Baby situation is out of control. Over the past 5 to 7 days, I've been seeing Grit go back and forth with True Mom's Tiana.
I know it can't be easy raising 5 kids when you're practically homeless and alone, but some of the things Grit Baby did were just wild. She used her platform to allegedly scam her followers, using the donations she took in her children's name to fund her addiction. Also, her priorities were always all over the place when it came to spending money.
Well, so you already know we're a hibbit, so since y'all so work.
Why was she buying Jordans for her kids when they sleep in crappy motels and hardly get a balanced diet? Fans were outraged because it looked like Grit Baby was taking everyone for a ride. Scamming her followers and misplacing priorities were the least of her problems, though. Child Protective Services investigated her multiple times for vile actions. I'm talking about allegations of kids witnessing things no child should ever see. Men coming in and out of the motel room. Substance is happening right in front of the children. Grit Baby even got called out for allegedly putting her hands on her kids. When people reached out to help her foster her kids while she got her bearings, she turned them down because those kids are the ticket to her money.
True Mom offered to take the kids or to help her with the kids, and she doesn't want that. She retaliates by saying, "Oh, my daughter will beat you up."
It just kept getting worse from there. Now people have finally had enough. We may be witnessing the end of Grit Baby's reign while watching her lose her kids in real time. Toward the end of 2025, her main account with 525,000 followers was banned. Whatever was left of her reputation was destroyed. I've gone down the rabbit hole of Grit Baby's antics, and what I discovered is even more shocking than you think. But the real question isn't what happened to Grit Baby. It's what happened to those kids who had their entire childhoods exploited for content while permanently living in crisis mode. Let's break down her scandals one by one. The Grit Baby Family of 6 account pulled in thousands of viewers who genuinely wanted to help. Olale Johnson, Grit Baby, effortlessly won over her followers' sympathy, at least for a short while. People found her raw, unfiltered, chaotic content relatable, and they wanted to help her in any way that they could. But here's where things got messy. Grit Baby would go live on TikTok at odd hours, like 2 in the morning, begging for donations. She claimed that she needed the money for motel rooms, food, or her kids. It was always something.
Can you pray help me? Come and help me. Come and help me.
I'm in need.
Come and help me. I got 5 kids. I'm not making this up. I'm in the room. I'm in the motel room. Look how we sleeping. We got beds, all kinds and stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chocolate. Thank you.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, she's struggling, what's wrong with asking for help? Well, on the surface, nothing was wrong. But when you take a closer look, you'll see that she was begging for donations without ever showing what she was actually doing with all the cash. That was the problem. With zero accountability and her shady attitude towards many influencers who reached out, it became clear that Grit Baby didn't really want help. She just wanted cold, hard cash, indefinitely.
She's also living in a motel with her kids. What I understand to be what's going on is people are trying to help her, but she doesn't want the help. She wants the money on.
See, this is the pattern that people started noticing. Grit Baby didn't want someone to pay her rent directly to the landlord or buy groceries and have them delivered. The comments were flooded with people that could see through her antics. Critics accused her of scamming her followers by exaggerating hardships, with some claiming she made millions online but kept begging as if she was dead broke. One TikTok user said, "Why is she begging on the same day TikTok paid her?" One replied, "They were playing the Cash App game, but I think Grip check she got Wednesday wasn't what she thought, but Grip lies so much I don't know." Another said, "You know why? This woman is on something." Yet another user pointed out how Grit Baby had been asked to stop begging on TikTok Live. I thought they told her to stop that. Didn't she already have the opportunity? That's right, Grit Baby did get an opportunity to improve her family's living conditions. But as the next user pointed out, she messed it up. She messes up every opportunity she gets. The comments continued, "Took advantage and blew it. Literally on blow." Nah, it don't be begging, it'd be lying. They start lying. When at work they lie more and everything becomes a lie. The constant begging, even after getting paid, pissed people off, no doubt. But it wasn't as bad as what came next. The Jordan scandal. Grit Baby posted photos and videos of her children buying Jordans. I mean, they were barely getting by. They looked unkempt. And they most likely needed clothes and school supplies. But no, Grit Baby believed Jordans would do the trick. At this point, spectators became outraged.
So Grip at the mall buying all her kids some Jordans. Her priorities is just all up. She think cause buying her kids Jordans make her a good mama. She talking about now everybody shut up. No, everybody's not gonna shut up, cause you could have took that money, bought them some clothes too, and got them some nice little shoes. What about they head?
Her choices seemed illogical, and people started suspecting that Grit Baby may have some mental health and addiction issues that were undiagnosed and untreated.
Now me, I have family members like this, so I already recognize we can see that there's some mental illness going on and also some substance.
I mean, the signs were pretty obvious. The constant need for cash and ongoing housing issues, even with income, were common among addicts. I should also point out the late night lives with chaotic energy and excuses that never add up. There were times where she appeared to be sniffing something behind the camera during live events with other creators.
But Chicago CC, we finna turn up. We finna turn. I know she's trying to have, girl, a game ball. We finna turn up. We finna turn up. Hold up.
A lot of people watching those lives knew exactly what they were seeing. It was as clear as day. We've been new Grip play with her nose. CPS? My cousin do that same face after, so yeah. Wow. She needs prayer. Crisis became a fixture in her life because crisis equals content, and content equals cash. Some fans started complaining about Grit Baby getting cash donations every time instead of getting real help for her mental health and her kids. One user said, "She's definitely delayed. So why people don't invest in trying to get her help instead of just throwing cash at her? Obviously her self-esteem has to be low, so what exactly did you think she would do with that money? She did her."
The fact that it's a lot going on and she does need help, but she doesn't want your assistance if you're not putting it in her hand, if that makes sense. She's one of those type of people.
It was just business, and she wasn't about to get cut off from her supply anytime soon. The only explanation that made sense to most people watching was that the money was going somewhere other than housing and caring for her children. What I know about addiction is that it's expensive, it's all-consuming, and it makes people do things that don't make logical sense to anyone.
And the last thing I'm gonna say is, once y'all heard the intro to all her videos, y'all should already know what's going on.
And as more and more people began questioning the donation scams, scrutiny of her entire life intensified. People weren't just asking about the money anymore, they were looking at everything. And that's where the child neglect and endangerment allegations started to surface.
Supposedly, she moved down to North Carolina to be with a guy who's now selling $50 pictures of her in inappropriate situations.
Grit Baby admitted that Child Protective Services investigated her for unsafe living conditions. And we're not talking about 1 or 2 calls. I'm talking about repeated CPS investigations. The kind of pattern that tells you something is seriously wrong. Everyone was sick of what they were seeing and just had to get involved.
And Grip only show us what the money could buy. When it comes down to the things that money can't buy, like teaching them shit, showing them respect, giving them respect, she cussed Miracle out on live for smelling musty, like it's not her fault as her mom to teach her how to not be musty.
The situation alone was concerning. These kids were bouncing from motel to motel, but I'll dive deeper into that later. There was no consistency in their lives, just chaos, crisis, and cameras documenting all of it for hundreds of thousands of viewers.
Now she done moved from Georgia all the way to damn North Carolina with these kids, got them living in a damn motel room. Now the little girl telling people how she waking up seeing Grip on top of a man and the man...
But it got so much worse than just unstable housing. Allegations including having men visit while kids were present, potential addiction issues, and one incident where her daughter reportedly witnessed explicit acts. Let me repeat that because it's important. Her daughter, a 12-year-old, allegedly witnessed her mother having sex with a man. According to the report, during this encounter, the man made eye contact with the child and kept going.
Not a little girl telling people how she waking up seeing Grip on top of a man and the man looking her dead in her eyes like, what is going on?
This isn't just neglect. This is active exposure of a minor to activity. This is potentially criminal child abuse. It allegedly wasn't even a one-time thing. The internet was flooded with angry people. It looked like she was trying when she first started out, but you can clearly see the lady done relapsed. Them kids are no longer clean with their hair done and well groomed. This is sad to watch. This one said, "I'm not understanding how anyone had respect for Grip, because I could tell she was an addict from the first video I saw." The comments kept coming. People have called. The issue is that she doesn't have a permanent address right now. In Georgia, CPS came and said they were fine. People know where the hotel is. Trust me, I live in North Carolina. Okay, so what is the hotel, and do you know Grip Baby's real government name? There are things that need to be conducted and posted so that people can really call CPS. 5 people in one room is not safe housing. Automatically, they're getting taken on that fact alone. Think about what that does to a kid. You're living in a cramped motel room with your siblings and your mom, and you're watching your mother engage in behavior that you're too young to fully understand, but old enough to know is wrong. The CPS investigations kept happening. Viewers would watch a live video or see something concerning and call it in. Then, Grip Baby would go on another live complaining about people calling CPS on her, acting like she was the victim in all this. In one video, she added the kids to the mix.
For them to be around me. So what I need for y'all to do is try a little harder and my kids have something to say.
Y'all need to stop calling CPS over and over again, because they ain't gonna do nothing, honey.
Why they ain't gonna do nothing?
Call CPS on yourself.
Why
they ain't gonna do nothing, because our mom take care of us real good. She got our Jordans, Feuds, clothes. Look at these clothes I got on. She got hair, she got my hair
What you
done.
got to say, Henry? Come on, cause I got to be in the camera.
Professor, you don't gotta stay yourself.
But here's the thing, if people are calling CPS on you repeatedly and CPS keeps investigating, maybe the problem isn't the people calling. The problem is what they're seeing and what makes them feel like they need to call. The question everyone kept asking was, why hasn't CPS taken the kids? With all these investigations, all these reports, all this evidence being documented on social media for everyone to see, why were these children still in her care? And the frustrating answer is that CPS doesn't remove children easily. The threshold for removal is high and the system is overloaded. And sometimes kids stay in situations that everyone knows are bad because the system is just too slow or overwhelmed to act. And with Grip repeatedly humiliating her children, it's kind of getting out of hand. On one occasion, she called her daughter out for smelling bad on live, with thousands of people watching.
That's nigga, babe. Can't take it. Hurry up.
This was ironic because it's Grip's responsibility to teach her daughter personal hygiene, a fact that people were quick to point out in the comment section. If the child hygiene is off, who's to blame? Mom, Grip, you got a note or two. I was thinking the same thing. She's so doped up and all over the place. Just need to stay off the damn app before she be locked up. Already enough screen recorded evidence. Apparently the mama don't clean herself properly either. I used to hate when my mom did this, but never really explained how to take care of myself, so I had to figure it out. People out here like her, and I've lost 3 pregnancies. Such a shame, those babies deserve better. Grip looks stanky herself while she's trying to embarrass her child. She's telling her to hurry up, but she's still putting her headscarf on. Grip wasn't just accused of disrespecting her kids, she was also accused of shouting at them, cursing at them, and even being physically rough on them during live events.
Grip time family of 6.
You.
Don't say that. You say it again, I'm gonna get you. Do you understand me? The Grip time family of 6. That's it. All together. Okay?
Yes, you heard that right. She threatened to get her daughter if she didn't follow her instructions, and this wasn't the only incident. One time, a cousin of Grip Baby came on live talking about how 2 of Grip's kids overdosed and had to spend days. Grip responded to these allegations immediately, explaining her side.
Since you don't know what's going on, I'm gonna tell you what's going on. This story happened 2 years or 3 years ago. It happened in May. 2 of my kids, Miracle and Alfred, had got hooked to some weed edibles, some TLC weed edibles. gummies, the edibles, but they were the belts. They got it hooked to them. A sister introduced me to them. I ain't known anybody.
She admitted that the children ingested weed, or THC edibles, when she wasn't looking, and said she only figured it out when their behavior seemed off. Her initial solution was to give them some milk. In her defense, they didn't overdose, but got a little high.
Now I'm seeing the difference. I'm seeing they about to drive it, they can't hardly stand up, they just keep laughing at everything. It just stared me so bad. I had to make a decision, well, what should I do? So I had gave them some milk.
Yeah, give them milk. That seems to be the logical thing to do when your kids ingest drugs. While she didn't deny the incident, her tone made it seem like it wasn't such a big deal. Instead of calming her fans, her video only made them angrier. Some pointed out inconsistencies in her story. In the original story, she say Alfred was asleep and Miracle was the one look fool. She never even stated she gave them milk. Cause how you gonna give both of them milk when one was knocked asleep? Others blamed CPS for failing the children. Plenty of social workers will tell you after 2-3 weeks, baby, you get them kids back. If it's not meth, unfortunately, y'all gotta know. These children were paying the price for their mother's choices every single day. They were living in motels, being exposed to things no child should see, having their worst moments broadcast to strangers. In all this, Grip wasn't fazed. In fact, she went after other influencers who dared to call her out or offer to help her, creating drama everywhere she could. Let's start with the beef with True Mama, also known as True or Deanna. This one was big because it went on for days and really showed how Grit Baby responded when someone tried to help her children.
True Mom offered to take the kids or to help her with the kids, and she doesn't want that. She retaliates by saying, "Oh, my daughter will beat you up."
True Mama offered to take some of the kids or help with them. Like, this is another mother seeing children in a bad situation and saying, "Hey, let me help." That should have been met with gratitude or at least consideration. Instead, Grit Baby went off.
She retaliates by saying, "Oh, my daughter will beat you up. Your daughter doesn't dress as nice as my kids. Your daughter don't even keep her nails and toes done." What?
Someone offers to help your children who are living in motels and being exposed to who knows what, and you come back with, "Well, my daughter dresses better than yours?" That tells you everything about her priorities. Her response pissed True Mama off.
Goddamn nerve to get up on here and call my baby ugly. Like, out of all the stuff you could have said bald head, you could have said anything bad. I would have took bad, but you said ugly. Out of all things ugly, yeah, you definitely on that stuff.
It wasn't about the kids' welfare. It was about her ego, about not wanting to look bad and maintaining the image that she had everything under control when she clearly didn't. True Mama was living her best life with her child. She had the resources to help, and she was genuinely offering them. Eventually, Grip folded and seemed ready to accept assistance from True Mama, but it was too late.
I'm winning than me right now, so I couldn't get to her. She'll have to come to me, and like if we do like collab, like Enoch or something, she would have to pay for it because she better off than me.
Right. She better than everybody.
I mean, you kept it G. You kept it G.
Then there was the whole thing with Big Mama. This creator offered to buy school supplies for Grit Baby's children, like basic stuff kids need for school. This should have been simple. "Thank you, my kids appreciate it. Done." But no, Grit Baby turned it into a whole thing. She saw it as an insult, as if Big Mama was trying to show her up or embarrass her, and started a public feud. Her response was wild.
You messaged me and told me your advice. Somebody, you got some advice for me. Then I asked you for your advice, Big Mama. Because if we want to talk about some advice, I got some advice for you. I need for you to learn how to cook and start feeding them kids.
Grip's drama would always generate views and engagement, and the kids would continue to suffer while their mother fought people on the internet. They kept people engaged and gave her something to talk about in her lives besides just begging for money. But something was wrong. While the feuds generated engagement, it was also showing the world Grit Baby's pattern of refusing help, especially for her children. Everyone was watching, and they saw through her behavior. Grip, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Not everybody trying to attack you. It's that powder speaking, trust me. I've dealt with family members who struggle with addiction or have struggled with addiction, but she's stubborn like my brother, won't let nobody help her. Her true self is showing, SMH. It really is, and I'm so disappointed. What the hell, Grit Baby? How are you gonna talk bad about Big Mama? She's a good woman. All she wanted to do was help another mom and kids. Wow. I hope you don't ask for help again, cause someone gonna hurt your feelings. Big Mama still feed her kids, and them kids don't look like they're having fun. Okay, if she messaged her privately, why did she take it to the internet place? Shaking my head. The Feuds also brought more attention to her situation. Those who may never have heard of Grit Baby otherwise would stumble upon one of these beefs, start looking into the situation, and discover the motel rooms. The neglect allegations. Each feud expanded the circle of people who knew what was going on and were concerned about those kids. Even when she was invited for collaborations with other creators, she still found ways to ruin it, in some cases getting physical. That clip was from The Messy Mad Show, a digital reality television series streamed on Kick.com, hosted by White Boy Madge. Grit Baby was invited along with some other creators for an episode on the show. It was a great opportunity for her to create more buzz and drive more traffic to her page. Instead, she decided to start a fist fight after a little provocation on the set. Creators became wary of inviting her to their shows, limiting her ability to grow in the industry. By the end, she'd burned bridges with pretty much every creator who might have helped her, when everything fell apart. When her primary account got banned and the money started drying up, there was no safety net. She had made sure of that herself. But her current situation is worse than simply losing her TikTok account. She has a serious housing problem that she hasn't been able to overcome for years. This has led to drama of its own. One of the factors that viewers complained bitterly about was the fact that Grit Baby and her 5 children didn't have a permanent address for years. All 6 of them were bouncing from one cheap motel to the other, and when she managed to rent an actual apartment, unfortunately stability didn't last. Grit Baby called the motels suites on her live streams, trying to make it sound better than what it actually was. But everyone watching could see the truth. As if that wasn't bad enough, Grit Baby allegedly moved to North Carolina to be with some guy.
Supposedly, she moved down to North Carolina to be with a guy who's now selling $50 pictures of her in inappropriate situations.
It just looked like Grit Baby was making one wrong decision after the other. It was just so unfair because her kids couldn't have a normal school experience. I mean, how do you maintain enrollment when you're changing motels every few weeks? How do you do homework when 6 people are crammed into one room? How do you have friends over when you live in a motel? When people brought it up, she became defensive and, in some cases, tried to glorify it. During one live stream, Grit Baby bragged about laying a whopping $901 weekly to stay in her motel.
Listen. Hey, can you tell them a street one like that down here? Please. It is 901. I ain't got the lie. Don't come on here saying I'm struggling. Okay, 900. Do this look like I'm struggling?
After much pressure from her fans, Grit Baby finally rented a house, a big 5-bedroom house that was more than enough shelter for her family. Things were looking up until late 2025 when her landlord gave her an eviction notice.
So Grit Baby got 9 days to get out the house before she get evicted.
The situation was so bad that the landlord created a TikTok page to say his own side of the story and post arguments he had with Grit Baby. At one point, the police got involved. He posted a video of the conversation he had with the police explaining that he was already running maintenance on the property.
Coming to do maintenance because they've just been saying that I haven't been doing maintenance on the property and things like that. So I was just making sure that I was giving them notice, letting them know I'm coming back, things like that. So I did it yesterday. So that's why I'm back today to go in and actually repair the things that she said that I didn't.
When Grit Baby refused to resolve the issue with civility, the landlord was forced to evict them from his property. This meant the family was facing not just continued motel hopping, but the loss of what might have been a brief period of actual stability. And for the kids, that's traumatic. To finally have a place that feels like home, only to lose it because of your mother's choices and behavior. As usual, Grit Baby was riding the wave and enjoying the chaos that came from her drama with her landlord. The landlord clearly had a case. Grit Baby was being a menace, but she was simply too proud to accept correction or live peacefully with anyone. In fact, she took the landlord to court over the eviction, rather than looking for a way to make peace and retain the property, or even a way to leave the property. She claimed that the house wasn't worth the price the landlord was requesting in the first place. Instead of admitting she and her kids needed to take better care of the building.
$2,000 a month for some don't even deserve $2,000. He charged me $2,000 for a 5-bedroom and I ain't got number 4 bedrooms I can use. Ain't none of these Feuds did in the house. But now you mad at me because I went to try to pay my light bill today. Now he want that money.
The comment section was divided. One group defended the landlord and called Grit Baby out, while another group supported her and encouraged her to leave the house immediately. $2K for a 5-bed is generous in the US economy. She was just bragging about how nice the house was when she moved in. I would cry if she was my mama. Take that $2,000, use it as a down payment for a mobile home, then your payment can go down to $200 to $800 a month until it's paid off. It made sense that Grit Baby sabotaged her opportunities for stable housing shortly after moving in. After all, if she got stable housing, what would she talk about? The crisis itself became her brand. Help me, I need a place to stay. That was her pitch. And it worked, at least for a while. In a way, the instability protected Grit Baby from accountability. If you're always on the move, it's harder for systems to catch up with you. CPS in one county might investigate, but by the time they complete their assessment, you've moved to another county. Schools can't track attendance if you're changing districts constantly. But this protection came at the cost of her children's well-being, safety, and development. They needed stability. At this point, people were already frustrated and calling for her cancellation.
Grit Baby needs to be canceled. First, she's on live doing drugs. Then her kids in the background, basically naked on live. No pants, no underwear. Let's not forget, the kids are being used. When they do a video, they have to talk. If they don't know what to say, she has a fit. She wants her kids to teach her how to use a camera and be a content creator.
What's particularly frustrating about Grit Baby's situation is that the solution was so straightforward. All she had to do was accept help. Let someone pay your rent directly to a landlord. Let someone set up a stable housing situation with oversight to ensure it's maintained. Put your children's needs above your need for control and cash in hand. But she couldn't do it. Or wouldn't. And as her main TikTok account got banned, the reality hit. Without the donation money from live streams, how was she going to pay for even motel rooms? There are still other backup pages, but none as big as the page that got banned. She moved the family out of the 5-bedroom and they're probably back in motels.
Okay, so I'm filming this house for my purpose. This how I left it. We're gonna come back and get all that.
The situation is a sad watch, and if she doesn't get her account back, it's going to get even worse. The whole thing was a disaster that didn't have to happen. Grit Baby's kids deserved better than growing up in a series of motel rooms.